Okay, I will take a leave. Good day.
ठीक.
And you are host means you can maintain each and everything.
Sir. Okay. So first question is regarding Article 32. Analyze the significance. Now, why this question and why this Article 32 is important right now? There is a reason for it. Actually, the CGI has said something about Article 32. I hope you all are aware of it because you must have seen it. You must have read it in the news. You must have seen it in, I guess, some. If you are watching television, I hope you are not. So, what actually Article 32 is, and how do you approach this question? Now, few of the answers that I have in front of me from, I think this question belongs to. Okay. See, all those who have not got your test 4 question, just at the end of this discussion, give me your names on the chat. Okay, no issues. I think this copy belongs to, again, the name is not written here. Uh, I guess it is there in the index. I need to check that. So, how do you approach this question regarding the significance of Article 32? Article 32 is actually, the Dr. Ambedkar called it the heart and soul of the Constitution. He was asked to pick one article. He said it's Article 32, the heart and soul of the Constitution. And it empowers the Supreme Court. It gives powers to Supreme Court to issue 5 writs. Now, you don't have to explain the rates here. I saw some answers and they have explained everything, mandamus and co warranto and certiorari. No need to do that. Just you start that what is the significance, what is right to constitutional remedies. यहाँ से आप शुरू करिए. Right to constitutional remedies, part 3 confers certain fundamental rights, 6 fundamental rights on Indian citizens. And these 6 fundamental rights are kind of very considered very sacrosanct. They cannot be infringed upon by either by the state or by the individual. So, what is the remedy available to the individual if these rights are infringed upon? The answer is Article 32. Okay, that is how this the significance of this article lies here. Now, what else has happened? Like you see here, there's this same power is available with. Vinod, if you can mute your mic. There is.
Yeah.
Now, high courts can also kind of issue writs under Article 226. However, there is a difference. High courts can issue writs for matters other than fundamental right, but Supreme Court only for fundamental rights. So the significance of Article 32 lies in the fact that Supreme Court emerges as the whole and soul, the only protector of the last resort. What will you do if your fundamental rights are infringed upon either by the state or by any authority or by any individual? The last resort is Supreme Court of India. So that is why Article 32 is important through 5 writs Supreme Court, and then briefly you explain what is writ, not in the beginning of the answer, because 2 answers I saw, they have taken 1.5 page to explain 5 types of writ. That is not what was asked here. So just refrain from doing that. And just a minute. Yes. So this is what you need to do, that it is very sacrosanct, quote Dr. Ambedkar, and why it is important. And you can give, unless asked in question, no need to give the current comment that came from the CGI. There can be another question for it. And you can quote Article 32, subclause 2 also there. High courts have a parallel power, but then that parallel power is High court's writ power is more than Supreme Court. They can issue for even for the ordinary rights. So that is what it is. That Supreme Court will protect your fundamental rights through the Article 32. Nothing more. No need to go into all the details. What are different type of writs and everything. Now, this is a very straightforward question. Article 32 and the significance. And I'm sure in your polity classes, in your polity notes, you must have gone through these things. A lot of stuff is coming nowadays regarding Article 32. As I told you that there was a controversy after the CGI said something. No need to go into that, but you can pick some good lines from those articles. So if there is a something written in any newspaper regarding this statement by CGI, there will be many fodder points that will be very useful for you. So you can see those collections. If you want, I can send it to you. Now, the second question, no, any question in any doubt in this question number one? Anyone, please unmute yourself or send me in chat.
So,
Right.
so do we have to also mention that during the time of emergency, there is a power that 32 can be restricted? So
Your voice is not clear, Rohit. If you can chat it, that would be chat. Write it in chat. That would be far better. Let me make it everyone. See, it does not discuss what happens when national emergency is in place. Okay, so no need to go into that. It's a 10 mark question. So how much words will you be allotted for it? You have to take care of 5 writs also. At least one line on 5 writs. So it makes 5 lines. So it becomes almost 50-75 words. So choose your words very judiciously. I would not advise you to write whether what happens when national emergency is in place. I mean, of course, if you can play with your words very well, these points fit in. But then it will be somewhere, after 200 words. As if I were to write it, I wouldn't. Now the second question is here on explain how pressure groups have been influencing public policy, making these suitable illustrations. I'm sure all of you know what is pressure group. What are pressure groups? There are different type of pressure group, and again the two answer sheets that I have come across, they have all given ASSOCHAM, FICCI. Come on, there's this. अभी जो सड़क पे नाटक कर रहे हो कौन है? There is something called farmers pressure group as well. There is a Bharatiya Kisan Sangh. There is Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh. So anyone who lobbies for kind of his community interest. Community, of course, is formed here on the basis of certain occupation. Okay, Indian Medical Dental Association can be a pressure group if it tries to lobby with the government, with the state, and tries to get some favorable outcomes out of it. Okay, so pressure group is any community coming together and democratically approaching the government. Okay, that's a pressure group. So be little diverse when you talk about pressure group. Don't, not only the industrial ones are not alone. There are others also. Now, what influence they have on public policy? Now, this is where the question comes. First paragraph, 50 to 75 words. You define what is pressure group, maybe 75 to 100 words. And first paragraph, इसके beyond नहीं जाना. Pressure group क्या है ये नहीं explain करना इससे ज़्यादा. How do they lobby with the government? Whose interest do they serve? Of course, community interest based on occupation, common occupation. Now, then you come to the question, the exact answer of the question, the core part, that how do they influence public policy making? Pressure group lobbies with the government. Okay, before budget, whenever union budget is presented, I mean, finance minister has a kind of meeting with different pressure groups. There are agriculturists are there, industrialists are there, MSMEs, small and medium entrepreneurs are there, educationists are there. Okay, all these are various stakeholders. So they try to, like you have to say that they democratically approach the government. That yes, we have a significant number, we have a certain role to play in this Indian economy and democracy. So please listen to us. This is what they do. And any example that comes to your mind, recent ones when you think of pressure group, anyone?
so this farmer protest is very.
So will you use this example?
Yes, sir. We can use the whole example. We can put this in our apt example for this question.
Yes, you can give this example that farmers are asking the government to roll back the farm laws. Okay, like they are acting as a pressure group. Few farmers are coming together. They're saying that we are the sole representative of all the farmers. Any other example? Any other example of pressure group that you can come across?
Labor laws modification we can also put. The
Which
labor
one?
code,
Which one? Labor code. Yes.
labor code.
Hmm.
So that the major impact was because of the trade unions which they had a major impact.
Right. Bilkul. You can say all this. So,
Only
Sir,
one
hmm.
example.
Sir, the RCEP one also.
Which
Not
one?
both.
RCEP, RCEP.
RCEP, but अब RCEP तो इंटरनेशनल हो गया,
अच्छा, okay.
वो यहाँ कहाँ से आएगा?
एक एग्जांपल कोट कर सकते हैं ना, दोनों तो नहीं कर सकते हैं ना हम लोग।
नहीं, एक या दो कर लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। पहले 50 से 75 से 100 वर्ड में मैं आपको वर्ड डिफिनेशन बता रहा हूँ। कंटेंट आप चूज करो, मैं उसको चेक कर रहा हूँ, मैं आपका ब्लूप्रिंट तैयार कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? आई एम नॉट स्कूलिंग कि पहला वर्ड से लास्ट वर्ड तक क्या होगा, मैं बस गाइड कर रहा हूँ आपको। 50, 75 टू 100 वर्ड में प्रेशर ग्रुप को आप डिफाइन कर दीजिए। गॉट इट? चेंज द पैराग्राफ, सेकंड पैराग्राफ, हाउ दे, क्वेश्चन क्या है, इन्फ्लुएंस पब्लिक पॉलिसी मेकिंग। देन यू गिव दिस एग्जांपल्स, इस प्रेशर ग्रुप ने ये किया, ऐसा हुआ। एक डीपीएसपी का आर्टिकल है ना जो कहता है कि वर्कर्स शुड पार्टिसिपेट इन द मैनेजमेंट, याद है? And all the companies nowadays say these things, right? That we are going for 360-degree feedbacks, workers must participate in management process. So all these kind of finance minister meeting with various stakeholders before the presentation of budget, this is all what pressure groups do. Commerce association, farm association, Mazdoor association, student association. In Delhi you will come across several student groups from northeast coming together. There are international students union in student groups in Delhi, but then international nahi jana hai. So this is what pressure group does. 1 to 2 example, you will be able to give a very good, we will be able to write a very good answer with it. Kaise making has been influenced, so they keep lobbying with the government, and sooner than later, kuch parts, it's not like every time the government will yield, like you take back farm laws and a law made by the parliament will be taken back. No, but yes, government has to listen, government has to negotiate, government has to discuss and debate the very essence of democracy. So this is how you can write this answer. Nothing इसमें कुछ अलग से नहीं करना है. हाँ, but content कहाँ पे किस तरह से choose करना है, that is more important. Like you need to know. No, that's not a constitutional method. Devendra has asked, is violence Bharat Bandh not a part of one technique employed by pressure group? That you should not quote these examples. You all are writing Indian constitution and polity, right? So please don't choose these anarchist methods.
Okay, sir.
Law made by the parliament will not be changed on roads. It will be a very sad day. It will be a sad day for Indian constitution and democracy if government listens to this anarchist and they take back the law. If you have a problem, approach the Supreme Court or vote for the government which will change that law. Don't hold the country to ransom. Don't give these examples. Of course, negotiations, discussions, deliberations, you cannot wish them away. Every time it will happen. Now, third thing here. Now, one example he's given here, religious special groups also. Don't write on religious special groups again, okay? Because stick to religion and politics. Two are forbidden topics for UPSC. All aspirants must refrain from these two topics. Now, if better example would be linguistic pressure groups, you can say. Okay, there is a constitutional provision. देखो example बहुत हो सकते हैं. आप रिलीजियस भी लिख दो, आप पॉलिटिकल लिख दो, बट वो सब पे कितना सब्जेक्टिविटी आप रियलाइज कर रहे हो? कोट ऑब्जेक्टिव एग्जांपल्स, लिंग्विस्टिक प्रेशर ग्रुप. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दो ही तरह के माइनॉरिटी को मानता है, रिलीजियस एंड लिंग्विस्टिक. ओके, तो इसकी आप बात करिए, ट्राइबल प्रेशर ग्रुप्स की बात करिए. ओके, तो ये सब आ सकता है, शेड्यूल 5 को कोट कर सकते हैं, ये सब आ सकता है. यस, तेलंगाना विल बी वन. तो अगेन अ लॉ, लेजिस्लेचर ने लॉ पास किया तब तेलंगाना बना. दिस इज ऐसे ही बनेगा ना, काम ऐसे ही होगा. अंग्रेजों भारत छोड़ो नहीं करना है ना, भारत बंद से नहीं होगा. नाउ अमृत स्कीम, अटल मिशन फॉर रेजुविनेशन इन एंड अर्बन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. तो सबसे पहले तो आप इसको एक्रोनिम को पहली लाइन में डिफाइन करिएगा और इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है. व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ अमृत स्कीम? So before coming to the objective of Amrut scheme, You need to say इसकी जरूरत क्यों पड़ी? What was the need for this very scheme? There are so many schemes running in this country because urban areas are facing certain crisis issues. There are certain impending crises in urban areas. The first of them is the kind of congestions that is there. Okay, infrastructure is not there. There are too many people living there. The basic necessities are not provided to them. Everything, our actually the tier 2 cities, if you go to any state, you visit the state capital and the nearby area, especially in North India, these cities are actually choking. Okay, they are supporting more people than they can actually do. So viable health infrastructure is not there. Then everyday migration is happening. Water resources, food quality, accommodation, all of these things are suffering. So for that, a certain amount has been allotted. I think it's somewhere around 50,000 crore, and some cities have been chosen for that. So what can they do? They can provide Amrut through Amrut scheme. Now you come to the features. First, what is Amrut? Second, why this scheme? Third, what this scheme needs to do. So what will you write there? That it will जो problem है उसी का cure होगा. Okay. So anyone who remembers what is the issues here? What are the issues that this scheme aims to address? Anyone?
Adequate sewage network,
Hmm?
adequate sewage network, more detailed planning of urban revival projects. Sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Tap water, potable drinking water to everyone.
Sir, sustainable city development,
Hmm.
which shall contain all the aspects like transportation, environment, sewage, water,
Yes.
rainwater
Sewage
harvesting.
network, everything. That's you
And
can
it is
write this.
continuation of Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Mission.
Yes, actually, it's a redressed. It's a redressed scheme. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru has been nomenclature has actually changed. Okay, so you can write these points, bullet points. You can write bullet points में लिखो बिल्कुल टिक बस लगता जाएगा फिर आपके आंसर पे.
Public participation is also important aspects.
Yes, it is. But then does Amrut talk about public participation?
Yes, sir, I think it does.
Okay. Participation is mentioned in, I think, this scheme of,
Not audible properly. See, Amrut schemes, it's even there in the India Yearbook, I guess. It's there in any government portal you see there, it will be there, especially this Ministry of Urban Development. And even on PIB, there are something related to it. Any current affair book you can come across. 5 to 6 points, bullet points you write. This answer can, I would advise you to go for points. These are the problems, these are the solutions. That's it. And next you see the discretionary. Yes, question.
Sorry sir, just 1 second. विनोद here sir. सर इशू इतना छोटा सा आता है कि 5 बुलेट पॉइंट्स में मेंशन तो कर देते हैं प्रॉब्लम सर, बट सॉल्यूशन भी वही होता है सर. जैसे कि लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, अब इस स्कीम से होगा बेटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, तो सर वो
कैसे
थोड़ा
हो रहा है ये बताना पड़ेगा. बेटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए क्या किया जा रहा है इसमें? There is a certain sum that has been allotted for better transportation. कुछ नया बस लाना पड़ेगा, मेट्रो चलाना पड़ेगा, बुलेट ट्रेन चलाना पड़ेगा, तभी तो बेटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होगा.
इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल ऑल दैट. यस
आप एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में बेटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कैसे लाएंगे? राइट, लोगों को तो भगा नहीं देंगे. यू विल नॉट जस्ट किक आउट द पीपल. तो एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में देयर इज अ नीड फॉर इनोवेशन, राइट? So there will be something that it's not there, right?
Okay.
You have raised a very valid concern. I am glad you are able to identify with this, that these are the problems, the solutions will be opposite. But what will be the solution? What will be the medium of solution? अगर अर्बन कंजेशन इशू है तो आप स्काई क्रेपर्स बना के लोगों को रखेंगे, यही होगा ना. पार्किंग करेंगे बेसमेंट में, यही होगा ना.
यस सर.
इसी तरह से यहाँ पे भी मिलेगा. ओके. Now the discretionary power, the fourth question, discretionary power granted to the government by the Indian Constitution. Now, do you come across many discretionary powers of the governor? Anyone?
Yes sir, 2 types of discretions are there.
How? That's what I'm saying. How many types are there?
Sir,
situational
and constitutional. Constitutional 5 are there
Right.
under Article 200, 201, 6
Yes,
schedule,
yes,
union
yes,
territories,
Yes.
the president's rule.
Then
And
sixth schedule
one
is
more.
not applicable to all states. Only 4 states are there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you need to mention, if you are mentioning about sixth schedule, you need to mention it is for those 4 states. Okay. Non-sixth schedule states, what power a governor of Bihar or a UP has? Discretionary ones.
Recommending bills.
bills of the states for presidents.
He can send it to presidential reference. And then will the state have any say?
No,
No, sir.
State will not have a say. So it can be a kind of, the legislative process of the state can be actually jeopardized if the governor of the day decides to do that. And governor is the office under the center. So that's why the question is critically analyzed. So you need to take quote certain judgments. The best one would be the Lieutenant Governor and Delhi. Anyone who remembers that?
Yes, sir.
What did the Delhi High Court say?
It should not be a norm. It should only be a case of
It should be an exception. It should not be the norm. This is what DLG Delhi was told, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you can, do you remember Arunachal and Uttarakhand?
Yes, sir. Namam Rabia case
Namam
of
Rebia
Arunachal.
case, what happened? What did the Supreme Court do?
The government was restored, sir.
Restored, right? And said the Attorney General had a very tough time in the court trying
Yes,
to
sir.
defend that, right? So you can say, don't need to go into all the details what happened and Nawam Rebia mein kisme kaise defection, don't, wo sab nahi pucha gaya. So just you say that at times governors are seen to be jumping their constitutional mandate, right? Do not name any party, do not name any governor, ये आज से नहीं हो रहा है. हमने अपने पॉलिटी अभी पढ़नी शुरू की है, संविधान 1949 से चल रहा है. तो it has been the more than 200 times these things have happened. So you say this,
Yes.
there are examples, there are that, and irrespective of the party in power, okay? So that's why I'm saying you don't need no name a particular party or a person or any government, okay? This is how it has happened, and that's why the courts have intervened. This is how you write this answer. That governor has a role. The role is to see whether the state government is performing as per the constitution. Okay, and governor has been chosen. CM has been elected. Democracy is about more than elected people than chosen people.
Yes.
Right? Let the people of the state decide whether they want this chief minister or not. Okay, so that's why the elected one will always have an upper hand. Governor is there to see that elected one does not breach what he is supposed to do, performs within his own jurisdiction as granted by the constitution. So these are, because the question is asking you to be critical. Okay, so
Yes.
you need to limit the role of the governor here. You can quote all these article 163 clause 2 and all these articles that you mentioned. Article 355 will be there. These, I hope you have those bullet points. Certain constitutional articles always help in building the narrative when you are writing the answer. So take shelters from these articles. No one will cut it. Okay, when you say article 163 clause 2, 355, 200, 201, इस पे कोई दूसरा opinion ला ही नहीं सकता है. Supreme Court judgment, High Court judgment, there will be no other opinion. Whosoever is,
my case.
yes,
Yes,
SR Bombay. So whosoever will check your answer will always give you good marks. Try to bring more objectivity into your answer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now the constitutional provision, the next one, fifth one, the constitutional provision for the protection of environment. What is the constitutional provision? Anyone?
Sir, they are divided in fundamental rights, DPSP, fundamental duties.
Fundamental rights article.
Articles are 21.
Yes, right to life.
Right to life.
Right to life. Within right to life, what is there? Right to
Decent environment.
right to safe environment, right? I have a right to life, which means I have a right to breathe fresh air and drink clean water. So fundamental right article 21. देखो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जितनी बार आर्टिकल 21 को इंटरप्रेट किया है आपको पता होगा, यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट इट हैज आर्टिकल 21 हैज सीन द वाइडेस्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन, राइट? राइट टू लाइफ में ही सब कुछ आ जाता है. एंड फिर डीपीएसपी
Article 48, sir.
आर्टिकल
48A.
48A, राइट?
Yes.
उसमें क्या कहा जा रहा है? दैट स्टेट मस्ट स्ट्राइव टू प्रोटेक्ट द environment and safeguard forest and wildlife. So these are the constitutional provisions. Okay. Now, इन कॉन्स्ट, अब तो ये तो 2 आर्टिकल में आ गया, तो चलो ये तो आपके पहले 100-150 वर्ड्स आ गए। फिर बाकी का 100 वर्ड उसमें क्या लिखोगे? व्हाट आर द
51 जी सर।
legislative steps.
हाँ, पहले कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल, वेरी गुड। उसके बाद उन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल स्टेप्स को, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो करने के लिए कौन सा लेजिस्लेटिव स्टेप लिया गया है? अब लॉस बताओ।
Sir, MC Mehta case,
ठीक है, वेरी गुड। व्हाट हैपेंड देयर?
right to clean water, I guess.
नहीं
Right.
सर,
You can take example of Justice Kuldeep Singh. He was a Delhi High Court judge. He is also known as Green Judge. It was on his, he took suo moto the cases. I don't know how many of you were in Delhi in 90s. मतलब the condition was horrible. अभी तो पराली जलाने के समय गैस चैम्बर बनता है ना, तब हर दिन रहता था. So he said that we need CNGs. Okay. And that we need better fuel, not CNG. He did not say for CNG. We need less pollutant here. So it was on his this kind of his intervention which led to the coming of CNG in India, in Delhi and all. So you can take these examples. Now, any other thing that you can think of? इसमें और कुछ नया
The
law
Menka
बना?
Gandhi case was also there.
Menaka Gandhi case for right to protection. Which one?
सर आर्टिकल 19 इसमें मेंशन कर सकते हैं?
कौन सा?
19
नहीं, 90 आर्टिकल 19.
19
हाँ, 19 राइट.
यस सर, वो शेड्यूल एरिया में सर मूवमेंट और
बट दैट
सर बेटर अप्रोच ये रहेगा कि
थोड़ा
मतलब
फार फेच हो जाएगा 19 यहाँ पर. हाँ, क्या
सर
बेटर?
हाँ, आर्टिकल 142 है, उसमें सर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास पावर है टू डू कंप्लीट जस्टिस. कोई भी ऑर्डर डिग्री पास कर सकता है, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म लेके कई केसेस पास किए हैं. दूसरा पीआईएल का कंसेप्ट आर्टिकल 32
तो वो
करके सर
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल के इंटरप्रिटेशन पर है ना. दिस क्वेश्चन टॉक्स अबाउट स्पेसिफिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट्स. वो तो इंटरप्रिटेशन पर आ गया. उसमें अगर आप जाओगे तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी.
तो 7 शेड्यूल में concurrent list में forest का है वो.
हाँ, कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट है, बट देन कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट है मतलब खैर, यस, कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट यू कैन कोट. सुप्रीम
सर
कंप्लीट जस्टिस अब कब
Forest is a subject, sir.
सर आर्टिकल 275 सर ग्रांट टू शेड्यूल एरिया.
अगेन शेड्यूल एरिया इज लिमिटेड. वो बाद में आप कह सकते हो, शुरू में ये सब पॉइंट नहीं डालो. पहले फंडामेंटल राइट्स, डीपीएचपी, laws that have been made. We have a full environment ministry with the government of India, right?
एनजीटी.
NGT is there. NGT always comes with the guidelines, though it's a quasi judicial body. But yes, constitutional नहीं है, but steps लिए गए हैं. Executive and legislative are putting their acts together to take care of the environment. Okay, several court judgments, you can say several laws that have been passed.
PPCV.
Forest cover को बढ़ाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, सब होता ही रहता है, right?
सर ये आर्टिकल 253 जो इंटरनेशनल एग्रीमेंट के लिए हम लॉ बनाते हैं,
But then
बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्ट एंड ऑल.
But then international laws are more than biodiversity. There are bilateral relations, there are trade relations. Okay.
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन सर, ये सर एनिमल प्रोटेक्शन, काउ स्लॉटर को कम करना और नीड इंप्रूव करना, कैन दिस आल्सो कम अंडर एनवायरनमेंट डीपीएसपी वाला प्रोविजन?
See, actually, again, this is a very long answer. This Article 48 that you are talking about, right? Gandhian principle. Now, Gandhi used to see cow as an intrinsic part of village economy. Okay. Apart from the faith thing that majority of Hindus revere cow as an animal, a holy animal, he also used to see that the cow is inherently linked with the village economy. I'm talking about 40s. Still, in order to revive agriculture, we talk about agriculture and allied activities to increase the augment the rural income and so on and so forth. So again, there the dairy comes very handy. Okay, so it's not directly like because of environment, but yes, there is a scientifically proven thing that beef contributes to global warming, but no need to go into all this. Okay, you have, okay. Now, here the next one, DPSP. Now, before I start this, actually we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just putting a little break over here. I need 5 minutes because I have to use my ID for some other discussion. I'll just start. All the members will be there. I'll leave and I'll come back. I'll need 5 to 6 minutes. Please, can you all wait for 5 to 6 minutes?
Okay, sir.
I'm
Okay,
leaving
sir.
it. And I need to make someone this or host or what. Devendra, I'm making you host.
Okay, sir.
I'll come within 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, I'll just start and I'll return.
Okay, sir.
Just give me 5 minutes.